Jy het gevra wanneer oefen ek saam met jou. Ek was onderstel om vandag saam met jou te oefen, maar my vlug het eers 12:30 geland van Johannesburg, waar ons gekook het saam met die Expresso kykers in Johannesburg by die Pick n Pay Good Food Atelier. Ek beloof volgende Vrydag oefen ek saam met jou. En dalk Maandag oefen een van die ouens van Sport 24 saam met ons, Dave Brook, maar vandag is Garen van Sport 24 hier saam met ons. Dave promised to do exercises with us. I hope you're going to do the same one Friday. Good morning.
Morning, Liesl. Perhaps one day. No promises, though. I'll leave it up to Dave.
Well, Dave said he will, so Monday, we hope he's going to be there with a little sweatband. Now, this weekend's a big one for the Sharks.
It is indeed. We've reached the quarter-final stage, if you like, of the Super Rugby. There's a match this morning, actually. The Blues are hosting the Waratahs in Auckland. The big match from a South African point of view takes place on Saturday morning. Crusaders up against the Sharks.
What time is that in South Africa? 8 or 9?
Both matches are 9:35 kick-off. The Sharks really have it all to do. The odds are stacked against them. They had to fly all the way to Nelson in New Zealand, where the match has been played. They went via
36 hours.
36 hours via Sydney. There was the ash cloud to take into account. They obviously have to get over the jet lag factor. The referee, they've got a poor record under Bryce Lawrence. He's taking charge of the match. The Crusaders actually have never lost a home Super Rugby final match before. The Sharks have only beaten the Crusaders 3 out of 17 times. Gee. And earlier this year in May, I don't know if you remember, they played each other at Twickenham in London.
That's right, yes.
And the Sharks were walloped by the Crusaders that day. So they really have it all to do. The bookies don't give them much of a chance. I tend to agree with them. I think the Crusaders will have too much. They've welcomed back Sonny Bill Williams. He's back. Sean Maitland is one of the leading try scorers this season. The Sharks have made one change. They brought Willem Alberts back for Ryan Kankowski. The rain's expected. It's going to be a hard, probably low-scoring match. But I think the Crusaders will have too much for the Sharks. I expect them to win by 10, 12 points. The other match, the Blues Waratahs, as we said, a little bit more difficult to predict. The Blues are unpredictable, even though they're at home. Waratahs, Phil War, their captain, he's in his last season. He's announced his retirement. They'll play for him. I wouldn't be surprised if the Waratahs upset the Blues at home. Going back to the Crusaders, if they do win, then next weekend they play the Stormers at Newlands, and the Reds, who top the log, will play the winner of the Blues Waratahs match. So something to look forward to.
Well, Garen, you've been in our studio 5 times. Five out of 5 times you've made predictions. 5 out of 5 times you've been wrong.
Yes. Well, this time I don't mind being wrong. If the Sharks win, we're great for South Africa.
And then Wimbledon this week. Any upsets?
Yeah, they haven't really been, to be honest. It's been a quiet week to the start of Wimbledon, apart from the fact that all the South Africans have been knocked out. Richter Fust, Kevin Anderson.
Upset, yes.
Yeah, Kevin Anderson lost to Novak Djokovic yesterday. No disgrace in straight sets. In the women's side of things, Chanel Skipper, she went down, so there are no South Africans left. The Williams sisters haven't really looked that good. They struggled. They've won most of their matches in 3 sets. Andy Murray, he's still in the draw, giving the British locals hope that he'll end their 75-year drought of men's singles winner. You know, the weather, as always, it tends to be the case in London. Unpredictable rain. Luckily, they've got a roof over centre court now, which cost something like R1 billion.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Incredible. And Rafael Nadal, he had to play in the closed roof, closed. And he complained that it was too humid, the grass was too slippery, and he said, you know, tennis is an outdoor sport. Yes. We shouldn't be playing indoors. In terms of picking a winner, I'm still going with Roger Federer to win his 7th title, which would tie the record, and maybe Maria Sharapova in the ladies' side of things.
And staying in Europe, it's the Europe Grand Prix this weekend.
It is. European Grand Prix takes place in Valencia in Spain. Sebastian Vettel, Red Bull's ace driver, if you like, he's got a 60-point lead at the top of the standings after just 7 races. He's actually won 5 of them. He's the defending champion at the European Grand Prix. Last year, McLaren, Lewis Hamilton and Jenson Button, they finished 2nd and 3rd. Button's coming off a win 2 weeks ago in Canada. He's 2nd in the championship, so I expect him to do well. Fernando Alonso of Ferrari, it's his home Grand Prix in Spain. Ferrari, I'm a big Ferrari fan. They've been highly disappointing this season. Hopefully they can turn things around and perhaps even sneak the victory. It would be an upset, let's face it, yeah.
Well, Garen, thank you so much for joining us here this morning and giving us our sport update. Always great chatting to you.
You too.
Now it's time to meet the power triathlon couple, Claire and Kent Horner, and find out what they're doing to inspire South African triathletes.